An ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program here on WZPP and WZOP, the voice of the Caribbean. So many things happening around the world. My God, I see wherein the FBI is warning American citizens to be on the high alert because of what is going on in Israel and Palestine. And so many other things going on in the Caribbean. I see wherein the Haitian government refused to open its border between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. They're demanding an apology from the Dominican government, and I don't blame them either. You can't use the Haitian people as if they're nothing. So I don't blame them. The cabinet, and there's news just coming in here. The Kenyan cabinet on Friday approved the deployment of 1,000 police to lead a military peacekeeping mission to Haiti. They has approved it, so obviously the Kenyan armed forces will be going into Haiti. They have approved the mission into Haiti. The news just coming into a news center here. Oh, and we can see the former Broward County mayor has arrived in the studio here. Mayor Holness.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the program, sir. Make we talk money, aye?
Let us talk money. Yes,
yes, sir. Let's talk a little of the Benjamin and the Franklin, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. If you're just joining us, this is the Make We Talk program with our host, Mr. Dale Holness, and I'm co-hosting with him today on the Make We Talk Money.
Let us talk money.
Welcome to the program once more, Mr. Holness.
Yes. It's good to be with you and good to be with the audience today. You're talking about Haiti.
Yes, I see we're in on it come over the on the Jamaica Observer Online that the Kenyan cabinet on Friday approved the deployment of 1,000 police to lead a mission, a peacekeeping mission into Haiti, military mission into Haiti.
So I'll tell you, I've been to Haiti about 7 times. I was there when the first United Nations mission was there.
Yes.
And part of what I said back then that should have been done, it wasn't done. And that is there should be training for the Haitian people, and we should be paying them and working to deploy them and move the United Nations forces out gradually.
Yes.
We didn't do that. So and what Haiti needs is money.
Indeed.
It's about the money. The problem with Haiti is, as many developing countries, they don't have enough money to run their government. And I hear everybody talk about corruption. I'm not saying there's not corruption in any system. There is all over the world, including here in America. But at the end of the day, if your budget is not enough to do the things you need to do to build a nation, then you have issues. And we go back to the founding of Haiti, when Haiti got its independence. The Western countries forced them to pay reparations for their freedom to France.
In the tune of how much $1 billion in today's money?
That's correct. And that lasted until the 1950s.
My God.
So imagine a nation that the first amount of money they earn from taxes goes to another country. How are you going to build your schools, build your hospitals, build your roadways, your infrastructure?
And your
How are you going
forces.
to develop your country?
Yes.
And then too often we had interference from outside countries and governments, and still happening today, where we saw the United States actually occupy Haiti. from 1915 to 1934, I think it was, extended period of time, which means that that country wasn't running itself. So again, another barrier to development.
Right.
The situation in Haiti goes beyond just the violence of the gang. That's a part of it. There are certain number of families or people in Haiti who controls the wealth and the money. And sometimes they are also complicit in wanting to the kind of government that they can dominate and control.
Yes. So Mr. Holness, what is your views on Jamaica, Antigua and Barbuda, and Barbados help to lead the military the military forces into Haiti? We just are here saying that the Kenyan government, the Kenyan cabinet, has approved a mission into Haiti. So, you know, and believe you me, what we're seeing is a mission into Haiti. And before we get our call, your views on that, Mr. Holness.
So I know Jamaica had pledged some time ago that they would go in and assist, and Jamaica's situation goes to a long time, where we've had to deal with the situation of gangs, especially back in the 80s.
Yes, sir. One moment, Mr. Holness.
So I know there are measures that they have put in place that can be utilized, lessons learned to help. We still have issues there, certainly in Jamaica and in other places around the world. But that bit of experience can help. Now, if we're sending these forces in under United Nations, they have to be paid. So the money to pay them will come from outside. But what we need to do is make sure that we're building the Haitian forces, augmenting their salaries that they're getting now. And in fact, the world has given Haiti money to help run its government because it's not collecting enough taxes to do so. And the tax scheme and structure needs some adjustment. Wealthy people in many of these developing countries pay no taxes. It's worse than it is here, where you have the wealthiest of people paying very small amount, if any at all. I mean, you have company earning billions of dollars that get tax credit and not pay a penny in. It's similar to these developing countries that is happening. So the violence that is happening in Haiti certainly needs attention, but we must look at it from a holistic standpoint. And I hosted on this station some time ago my good friend Paul Christian Nafi, whose uncle was president after they took out, before Aristide got taken out, Baby Doc, because he was a generally good man, but then he was put out too. So, you have that kind of stuff, and the violence keeps escalating. I have on the line with us as we speak of violence, a good friend of mine and an intern and someone who helped me on my last campaign with two things. He helped me with developing environmental policies and also with my policy towards Israel. And I spoke to Zach. We're going to talk about the environment and Zach Cosner. But I welcome you on the line, Zach, and we're probably going to just touch on Israel a little bit because it's a topic of the day right now. And first, let me offer my condolence to you as a Jewish person for the atrocities that were committed by Hamas and the situation that is really escalating to certain disaster, affecting certainly the people of Israel, but the people of Palestine, Palestinians. And
absolutely,
we have to figure out a way as human beings to find a better way of dealing with issues, and negotiations is important to get to peace and prosperity. Both people need security, and certainly the Israeli people need security, and Hamas is not, in my mind, furthering the cause of peace. And I know that they, in their minds, have justification for their actions, but that's not going to bring about peace. Unfortunately, Chairman Yasser Arafat, when he met with President Menachem Begin at Camp David with Bill Clinton, did not get his country, his people, to agree to a peace accord. If that happened, I think we would be in a better place, where both people could probably be living in greater harmony, maybe not perfect harmony, but better harmony, and both could prosper more. Israel certainly is a country that in a short time has amassed great wealth and power because they have been unified. Certainly having the might of the military provides some sense of security, not enough, as we have seen just now. But we need to pray for peace and prosperity for Israel and the people of Palestine. And Zach, I would like for you to comment and out again. Again, my condolences to you, and my heart goes out to you and family members who I'm sure are grieving and suffering from what has occurred.
Absolutely, I appreciate that, Dale. It is a tragedy what's going on, tragedy and a travesty, and there's few words that I can really offer, few ideas that I can put forward for solving this or for bringing about peace. And at times it feels like any given individual is extremely helpless. Of course, we pray as well for the people in Gaza who are not affiliated with Hamas, who were brought into this by actors that do not care for their safety. And it just seems like a very horrible situation that, has been in development for many, many years. Yitzhak Rabin was assassinated about 4 months after I was born, back in 1995. And, it is very saddening to think about the world that he envisioned and the world that we have now. All I can really say is that I hope that the angels of mercy and peace prevail to the degree that they can. And I offer a prayer of, as my people have, Oseh Shalom, V'yaseh Shalom Aleinu, V'yakol Olam, V'yimru Amen. Translates to, may he who creates peace on high create peace here for all of us and for all the world. That's all I can say on that situation as it emerges. We shall see what happens in the days to come, but while we can pray for the best, there will be a lot of moral and spiritual wrangling we will have to contend with very shortly. And of course, I hope that everyone in Israel is able to feel safe and secure, and I hope that the people in Palestine are able to emerge from the situation with dignity and some degree of hope. And so, that's all I can say on that subject.
My brother, thanks. And I know we didn't discuss that we would be talking this or conversation, though we mentioned that by me offering you condolences when we spoke a couple of days ago, had to do with the environment.
Absolutely.
And I know that you are an environmentalist by heart. So I'm going to do this, my friend. Give us a little background on you as to where you're born, where you went to school, a little background as to who Zach Cosner is.
Sure. I was born and raised in Miami-Dade County. I am of course, a Jewish person and also a very committed environmentalist since I was born. Grew up really learning to love the Everglades and the seagrass beds that South Florida is replete with. The endless bands of primordial cypress forests and crowned with very fiery red bromeliads and teeming with large scaly beasts. So when I was in university, I committed to studying biology, environmental science, and history.
Which university you went to?
I went to the University of Miami,
okay.
where my father's taught calculus for 30 years,
wow.
Studying specifically population dynamics and modeling as it relates to the mathematical principles of the universe. And so
a scientist.
And so, as a scientist, exactly. And so, my ambition was to go into environmental policy and law. And while I was there, the university sold a gigantic parcel of pine rockland forest. This incredibly rare ecosystem that exists only here in South Florida and the Bahamas and certain islands in the Caribbean. It is a incredibly biodiverse type of ecosystem. It's more biodiverse than a coral reef. It has so many endangered species that live in this type of habitat. And in Miami, only about 3% of our original pine rockland forests remain. And so, of course, the university I was at selling this massive parcel of pine rockland forest developers, which occurred when I was a sophomore there in 2015, really offended and galvanized me into action. I began to form the Miami Pine Rockland Coalition alongside other animated citizens, and we protested it. We started appearing at various government meetings to decry this sort of development, to try and do what we could to stop the loss of our ecological heritage. And through that, I ended up becoming much more deeply involved in the activist movement. I eventually went on to help form Conservation Concepts, a firm I've worked with on and off for some time that basically has done a lot of work on various environmental advocacy issues, including advocating against the extension of a turnpike through a huge area of the Bird Drive Basin in the eastern Everglades, helping to coordinate a lawsuit against the Solar Power and Light Company, which was found to be the source of, or the Crickley Point Nuclear Generating Station, which they own, cooling canal systems, were found to be the source of a massive plume of hypersaline pollution that was affecting both the bay and the aquifer, and a few other things. There's a lot of different environmental issues all throughout South Florida.
So
I've worked in government as well, and yeah.
So when I met you, a friend of yours that you actually went to school with and became close friends, who so happened to have been a Muslim. It was such a picture to see you and Abdur work together on my campaign. I had someone who's deeply religious as a Jew, and someone who is deeply religious as a Muslim. As friends, sharing together, he actually introduced me to you, and you came on the team. Tell me a little bit about that friendship and how that evolved.
Sure thing. Well, I've been friends with Abdur for the longest time, since we were small kids. Abdur had always been a spiritual seeker. He was always a deep thinker and one who tried to wrangle the questions of the universe in a way that I found admirable. And I think is part of why we were drawn together as friends. Also, just a very intelligent person. As you know, Abdur went to MIT. He recently graduated from Harvard. And so I think as Abdur went along his spiritual journey, I continued to support him every step of the way. And the journey led him to accept Islam. And there's a very deep and beautiful spiritual practice that seemed to give him a lot of new energy and answers. And I could only help but feel extremely happy for him and the fact that he found a path that he truly deeply resonated with.
But
so it never really occurred to me that he's a Muslim, or this idea that there must be acrimony between myself and himself for his faith. I feel like Islam is a very beautiful religion.
But you also did some studies. But continue the thought you have, and then tell us a little bit about your religious studying background. You were saying Rabbi Aman. Go ahead, please.
Well, the Rabbi Maimonides is a very interesting figure in Judaism. He was also known as the Rambam. He was a legendary rabbi who was also the doctor to King Solomon. King Saladin. And he lived in this context of the Middle East during its, what some might call a cultural golden age that it was experiencing. And that was, of course, a culture in which Jewish folks and Muslim folks lived side by side, advanced the most incredible science, and created, cultural traditions and legacies that last to this day. And so his thoughts on all of Christianity and Islam were that they are essential methods for bringing the truth of monotheism to the rest of the world, and part of God's plan, obviously. And so I never thought that there was any kind of conflict between Jewish folks and Christians and everyone being able to live harmoniously. At least when you look to history, there's plenty of examples of conflict and horror, but there's plenty of beautiful examples of coexistence as well. And so, to me, the moments like this stand out in that they kind of challenge that sort of thoughtless idea of, that is the truth, that, we can live in harmony together with, just the details of reality, I suppose, in certain times and places. I feel like I may have gotten off topic on the question.
No, that's fine. So I know you also did some religious studies yourself, and just touch on that a little bit. And we're going to be on a break in about a minute, so a minute and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't done too many religious studies myself. Actually, I've of course also been a spiritual seeker, and